Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. May I now request Secretary, Press Council of India, Dr. Dheeraj Kakaria, sir, to please welcome Chairperson, Press Council of India, Srimati Justice Ranjana Prakash Desai, with a plant. Shortly, the Honorable Union Minister and Minister of State will join us from Mumbai virtually. The Press Council of India has the twin objectives of preserving the freedom of the press and maintaining and improving the standards of newspapers and news agencies in India. May I have the pleasure to invite the Honorable Minister of Information and Broadcasting, Railways, Electronics and Information Technology, Shri Ashwini Vaishnaw ji, and the Honorable Minister of State for Information and Broadcasting and Parliamentary Affairs, Dr. L. Murugan ji, to the National Press Day event. We welcome both the dignitaries on this evening. May I now invite Honorable Chairperson, Press Council of India, Srimati Ranjana Prakash Desai, to welcome the August gathering.
India began functioning as a moral watchdog committed to uphold the journalistic ethics and the high standards expected from such a powerful medium, while ensuring that the press remains free from any external influence or pressure. In today's function, the Honorable Union Minister, Shri Ashwini Vaishnaw ji, and the Honorable Union Minister for State, Dr. L. Murugan, had kindly agreed to attend in person. However, due to their sudden exigencies, they are unable to do so. Both the Union Ministers have joined us virtually. I extend my heartfelt thanks to both of them for taking out time despite their extremely busy schedules. I welcome them. I welcome veteran journalist Padma Bhushan Shri Kundan Ramanlal Vyas ji, Secretary, Ministry of Information, Sanjay Jajaji. Okay, I'm told that the secretary is slightly delayed. He'll be joining us now. And I also welcome all other distinguished guests and participants. Over the years, the media has changed by leaps and bounds. The wider availability of the digital platform and the constant use of social media, blogs and podcasts have greatly expanded our ability to share and access news and information. This process has reduced all geographical barriers. The shift from traditional media platforms to digital media has not only made our lives easier, but has also brought some challenges with it. Ensuring that accurate news reaches us in a timely manner is crucial at this point of time. The Honorable Union Ministers will enlighten us on these challenges and advantages of changing nature of press. I know all of you are keen to hear them, and I do not want to encroach on today's topic. But I must take a moment to reflect on the achievements of the Press Council of India over the past years. The Press Council, exercising its jurisdiction on the print media, has adjudicated numerous cases over the years. It has issued landmark orders that have helped frame new norms of journalistic conduct. The Council has also taken suo motu cognizance in important matters. Its adjudications inter alia have ensured that indecent, misleading, or classified ads are not published in newspapers. Each adjudication sets a precedent for the future, guiding us in our mission to uphold the integrity of the press. As I began my third year as the chairperson of this Press Council, my belief in the indispensable power of the press has grown stronger. The press serves as a crucial platform for advocating free speech and media freedom, fostering informed public debates on issues of social justice, development and promotes transparent governance through open and accountable management practices by the government. The Press Council of India has achieved several milestones and made valuable contributions in the field of media. These accomplishments include preparing reports along with recommendations on important issues like retrenchment of journalists during the COVID-19, safety of reporters covering news from natural disaster-stricken areas, and advertising and accreditation policies. It also addressed the issue of essential qualifications for journalists and the challenges faced by journalists in conflict-affected areas. I shall be failing in my duty if I do not acknowledge the work of the subcommittees of the Council who have meticulously worked in studying and preparing this report that are adopted by the Council. The Press Council has also provided valuable feedback on the various bills forwarded to it by the government pertaining to press. Further, the PCI issued various advisories to print media on the important issues related to the free functioning of press and maintenance of journalistic ethics. Advisories were issued to media to adhere to the norms of journalistic conduct, particularly regarding paid news during the Legislative Assembly elections, publishing employment-related advertisement to protect vulnerable unemployed youth from fraudulent employment schemes, and advisory relating to follow guidelines issued by the Minister of Information and Broadcasting pertaining to advertisement online betting platforms. These steps collectively aim to maintain journalistic integrity, protect public interest, and ensure that media serves as a reliable and ethical platform for information. The Press Council, with an innovative approach to recognize talent and promote ethical growth in journalism, instituted the National Awards for Excellence of Journalism to honor journalists, photojournalists, and freelancers from print journalism. The 2023 awardees, selected by a distinguished jury, were honored on August 5, 2024. 15 journalists in various categories were conferred award on that day. The prestigious Raja Ram Mohan Roy Award was one of them. To promote responsibility and raise awareness among aspiring journalists, the PCI conducted merit-based internship programs for journalistic students. The Press Council remains committed to foster positive societal change through the principles of ethical journalism. Media landscape is evolving, and PCI will continue to fulfill its role in promoting integrity and responsibility in the field of journalism. This leads to necessity of extending jurisdiction of the Press Council of India, which the government may consider. In today's fast-paced world, where artificial intelligence is playing an increasingly important role in delivering news, with news being created, edited, and posted at the click of a button, it is important to remind ourselves of the foundational principles that give rise to journalism in India, which was to serve the people. While artificial intelligence brings efficiency and innovation to the news industry, enhancing the speed and reach of information, it is important that we do not forget to use this technology responsibly and ethically. As the media landscape continues to change, we must not forget the pioneering contributions of figures like Raja Ram Mohan Roy, Bal Gangadhar Tilak, and Mahatma Gandhi, who played a crucial role in shaping the world of journalism. They recognize the power of mass media and use it to challenge the social injustice, stereotypes, and inspire change and shape the public opinion. In this era of technological transformation, we must stick to the core values, ensuring that journalism continues to serve its purpose of enlightening the people. While the press may change in nature, its core purpose will always remain the same. Let us never lose sight of that purpose as we move forward in these changing times. Thank you everyone for joining us on this occasion. I now request Honorable Ministers to give their speeches. Thank you so much. Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. May I now request Honorable Minister of State for Information and Broadcasting and Parliamentary Affairs, Dr. L. Murugan, to please address the gathering.
Today's chief guest, respected Sri Ashwini Vaishnaw ji, Honorable Minister of Information and Broadcasting, Railways and Electronics Information Technology, Srimati Justice Ranjana Prakash Desai, Chairperson, Press Council of India, Sri Sanjay Jaju, Secretary Minister of Information and Broadcasting, Sri Kundan Ramlal Vyasji, Sri Dheeraj Kakadiaji, dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen, students from various mass communication and journalism colleges, friends from media, namaskar to you all. First of all, I express my best wishes and my congratulations to you all on the occasion of the National Press Day. So every year, the Press Council of India is celebrating the National Press Day, and same time every year they enhancing the program such a wonderful manner, and they are all involving the young journalists, the future journalists from the various colleges. The press, we call the press is the journalism is the fourth pillar of the democracy in our country. India is the mother of democracy. So in this democracy, the press plays a huge role and a pivotal role to take the news to the citizen of the country. So I express my best wishes to everyone in this occasion. Today, the traditional press, that is printing press, after that the satellite presses came up, and today the digital media, yes, technologically the digital media is giving a news very fast to the citizens and the public. So the news, the journalists, the Press Council of India is emphasized to the ethics code of ethics. See, this code of ethics is not controlling the press. They are regulating the journalists by the fake news, misinformation, and false informations. So today is the major concern about everyone's major concern is the fake news is the major concern. The fake news is spreading very fast than the virus. Our Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi ji and our Honorable President of India, Vice President of India, everyone, and our Minister Sri Ashwini Vaishnaw ji, everyone expressed their concern about the fake news. So in this occasion, how we have the social responsibility. So the people, they can write against the nation, or they can write against the military. They can write against the sovereignty. So this and all not at all acceptable. So the Press Council of India is taking steps and action against those fake news. And still the new era in this journalism and the media, we see everyone now a journalists. Those who are using the mobile phone, they are the content creator, they are the news publisher now. So it's the time to regulate a such fake news spread by the social media. So we are all taking few steps to control the fake news. So our Constitution of India is giving guarantee, it's a fundamental right to express freedom of speech and freedom of expression. The same time, the fake news has to be controlled. So the government of India, we are taking steps for that under the dynamic, our Prime Minister's guidance. We have established a fact-check unit under the Press Information Bureau. The fact-check unit is doing fantastic work, and they are checking the authentication of the news and authentication of the articles, and they are publishing and they are giving the fact before the nation. Like that, various forums we are working towards. See, everyone we concerned about the nations, and we are all passing news. And now we are seeing the development. So this and all in this word. Thanks for this. Again, I express my wish. Thank you very much. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for sharing your insights. We welcome the Secretary for that. May I now request Secretary of Information and Broadcasting, Shri Sanjay Jajuji, with shawl and plant. May I now have the privilege to invite the Honorable Minister of Information and Broadcasting, Railways and Electronics and Information Technology, Shri Ashwini Vaishnaw ji, to deliver the keynote address. The Honorable Minister will enlighten us with the changing nature of the press. Over to you, sir.
Honorable Minister Dr. Murugan ji, Honorable Chairperson Press Council of India, Justice Ranjana Desai ji, veteran journalist Shri Kundan Ramanlal Vyas ji, Honorable members of the Press Council, Secretary Shri Jaju ji, Secretary Press Council, friends from media, esteemed guests and friends. It's my privilege to join you in celebrating the National Press Day today. I would have loved to join in person, but because of the Maharashtra elections, we are here, stationed here, both of us. So we are joining virtually. Friends, this is the day to remember the contribution of press and media in our society. This is also the day to acknowledge the changes in the world of press and media. And also the time to understand the new challenges that our society is facing because of these changes which are happening in the world of media and press. Let us begin with remembering the contribution of press in our struggle for freedom from the oppressive forces, and I would like to recount two such instances in our history. First was the long-drawn battle to achieve freedom from the British rule. The press played a very major role in our struggle. And the second was the fight to preserve our well-fought democracy from the dark years of emergency imposed by the Congress government. We must not forget these struggles because history has the tendency to repeat itself. And those who forget history are bound to face the same challenges again and again. That is why NDA government led by Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, has decided to observe June 25 as the Constitution Murder Day. Friends, I would like to emphasize the role of media and press in preserving our democracy, and especially in India, which has a very vibrant press. Our press and media is vocal. Our press and media has opinions across the spectrum. Some are very strong, some are very centrist. And our country, the mother of democracy, houses as many as 35,000 registered daily newspapers. There are thousands of news channels and a rapidly expanding digital ecosystem which is reaching the crores of citizens via mobile and internet. The investments made in digital infrastructure have propelled India among the top countries with 4G and 5G networks. Along with the spread of network, we also have the lowest data prices in the world. So friends, along with the vibrancy, along with the diversity of our press, the availability and affordability of digital media has created new opportunities for media in our country. Now, while this offers many new opportunities, this also offers new challenges for the society. Today, I would like to highlight the 4 big challenges that our society is facing because of the developments, because of the changes which are happening in the world of media and press. The first challenge is the challenge of fake news and disinformation. The rapid spread of fake news is a big threat not only to media because it undermines trust, but it's also a big threat to democracy. Since the platforms do not verify whatever is posted on those platforms, so the false and misleading information can be found in abundance on practically every platform. Even those citizens who are considered as well-aware citizens, they also fall into the trap of such misinformation. So the question that arises is, who will take the responsibility for the content which is published on the platforms? Globally, there is a debate over the relevance of safe harbor. This is a construct, the safe harbor construct is a construct which came in 1990s when internet was developing. That was the time when the availability of digital medium was limited to a select few, mostly in universities, mostly in research institutes. That was the time when safe harbor construct came in. Today, digital medium is available to one and many. It's so common, it's so prevalent, practically every person that you see in a city and a large population in the rural areas who have a mobile in their hands, they have access to the world through the digital medium. So this construct of safe harbor, which was developed during the 1990s, is it still relevant? This is a debate which is right now happening in many parts of the world, in many developed and developing countries. It is well known today that many riots, including some in the developed world, many acts of terrorism, many in the rich world, and interference in democratic processes, including many instances in the developed world. Such instances have occurred because the platforms shied away from the responsibility for the country. With our diverse society, we have to be extra careful. Our country has many sensitivities which do not exist in the countries where these platforms originated. Whether it is language, whether it is religion, whether it is regional differences, whether it is cultural diversity, we have to be extra careful when we are working in a country as diverse as India. Therefore, when the circumstances are different, shouldn't there be a different matrix for the platform? Shouldn't there be more responsibility on the platform? This question needs to be debated in our social context. This is the first challenge, friends, that we are facing because of the changes in the press and media. The second challenge is about fair compensation by the platforms for content created by conventional media. As we see, consumption of news and consumption of content is rapidly shifting from the conventional modes to the digital media. The traditional media is losing out financially because of this change. The investment done in creating a team of journalists, training them, having editorial processes, having methods to check the veracity of news, taking the responsibility for the content, all those investments, which are huge investments both in terms of time and money, those are becoming irrelevant by the way the platforms are having a very unequal edge in terms of the bargaining power they have vis-a-vis the conventional media. This needs to be addressed. The efforts made by the conventional media in creating content needs to be suitably compensated. The asymmetric relationship between the content creators and the platforms is also being debated all over the world. Friends, in my opinion, this is the second challenge, the challenge of fair compensation, which is affecting our society and the world of media and news. The third challenge, friends, is the algorithmic bias evident on the platforms. The platforms are digital mammoths which use algorithms for deciding what needs to be shown, what has to be shown to the users. And these algorithms are designed to maximize engagement, because engagement defines the revenue for the platform. So maximizing the engagement becomes the objective for the platform. Unfortunately, these algorithms tend to prioritize content which incites strong reactions. So that using the human psychology, something which creates a strong reaction is what people tend to do. So regardless of the factual accuracy, the platforms and the algorithms have a tendency to maximize the content which generates such strong reactions. In a country as diverse as India, misinformation and such algorithmic bias can have serious social consequences. We have seen this in multiple instances. This approach is, in my opinion, irresponsible and it is dangerous for our society. The platforms must come out with solutions that account for the impact their systems and the algorithms have on this society. In my opinion, friends, this is the third challenge that our society is facing. I'll come to the fourth and final challenge. The fourth challenge is the impact of AI on intellectual property rights. We have seen the creative world is today undergoing a serious upheaval because of the artificial intelligence. The content produced by creators, by musicians, by filmmakers, by writers, by authors, by speech makers, all that content gets digested by the AI models. What happens to the IP rights of the people who have created that content? What are the consequences for those original creators? Are they being compensated for their work? Are they being acknowledged for their work? Today, the AI models and AI systems are able to generate pieces of music on the basis of a small written note to it. And that is all because of the large amount of music data that they have used while getting themselves trained. Under such circumstances, under such changes in technology, what is the safeguard for the original content creators? This is not just an economic issue, it is an ethical issue too. Friends, in my opinion, this is the fourth challenge. The four challenges that we are facing today because of the changes in the landscape are very important challenges. We as a society need to address these. We as a country have to be sensitive to it. We as pioneers in technologies in many different fields have to find solutions which can give us solutions to these major problems faced by our society. And we need to create consensus around this. We need to have open debate around these challenges. We need to have a lot more discussion about these challenges, and we have to rise above politics, because these are the challenges which are affecting the very fabric of our society. These are the challenges which are going to be more and more dominant, more and more prominent in the coming days. So friends, as we collectively march towards Viksit Bharat by 2047, let us all work towards creating a harmonious society. Let us work towards creating a prosperous country. Let us work towards always keeping the nation first, always first. Let us work with a spirit in which the press and the media remains a very strong pillar of our democracy, and we don't face the repetition of what happened in the dark days of emergency during the Congress government. And together we will build a future where journalism empowers the people, strengthens our nation, and showcases the best of India to the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your insights on today's topic. May I now request Shri Kundan Ramanlal Vyas ji to kindly present his perspective on the theme of the National Press Day.
Our chief guest, Honorable Minister of Information and Broadcasting, Railways, Electronics and the Information Technology, Shri Ashwin ji. Our guest of honor, Honorable Minister of State for Information and Broadcasting and Parliamentary Affairs, Dr. Murugan ji. Honorable Chairperson and the Council, Honorable Chairman of the Council, Justice Srimati Ranjana Prakash Desai ji, and all other dignitaries, distinguished guests, and all my professional colleagues present here. It is indeed my proud privilege to be here on the National Press Day. I wish to profusely thank the Honorable Chairperson of the Press Council for having given me an opportunity to share my thoughts on the theme, Changing Nature of the Press. I have dedicated more than 50 years of my life to this honorable profession and have seen the media proliferate from mere print form to the e-media and the digital social media platforms. And the makeover has been significant, of course, with the pitfalls and the concerns. The contribution of the Press Council of India for the development of free and fair press has been commendable. And despite the handicaps and the power of its powers and the reach, the Council came out with norms of journalistic conduct, conducted the significant investigation into the practice of the paid news. We had appointed a committee when I happened to be the member of the Council. I was the member of the inquiry committee for the paid news in 2010, revealing the widespread corruption and the collusion between the media and the political entities, and ensuring the certain powerful media outlets for violation of the journalistic norms prescribed by the Council. These landmark highlights the PCI's ongoing efforts to uphold the journalistic integrity and the freedom of press in India. The theme of today, changing nature of press, is very apt and relevant in the present day context due to the serious challenges being faced by the print media. Print media needs to change to adapt to the dynamic changes and discharge its onerous role as the fourth estate, the pillar of our democratic setup. Technological advancements in last 20 years have radically changed the scenario, with the electronic media and the digital media grabbing the viewership and attention of the masses across the country. During COVID-19 pandemic, the print media experienced a major downslide due to the distribution challenges, which made it difficult to distribute the physical newspapers and magazines. Many of you will agree with me that in the initial stage, the newspapers became asprusha, untouchable. In the metros, people were not touching even the newspaper to lift in, read. Thereafter, they started disappearing. Adrashya hone lage. So that was the biggest setback to the print media. The lockdown also led to a major shift in the digital media, digital media. With more people staying and working from home, the pandemic changed how people consume news with a preference to the real-time update and digital content over the traditional print formats. The outbreak of Russia-Ukraine war disrupted the supply of the newsprint also. This coupled with the soaring prices of the newsprint within the country have led to the decline of printed newspapers being circulated, forcing most of them to go digital. However, these challenges are beyond human control and cannot be held to be directly responsible for decline of the print media. The real threat to the print media has emerged in the following forms. The primary reason for the decline of the newspaper readership is the rise of digital media, such as the internet and the mobile devices. In a world where engagement is often about click rather than quality, audiences are more drawn to sensationalized, emotionally charged posts that don't require much time or mental effort. Younger generations, particularly GZ and the millennials, prefer consuming news through the digital platforms like social media, news apps, and the websites. This shift is driven by the convenience of the digital news. But we should all know this is a real direct threat to the democratic functioning, democracy, because the people don't read the newspapers, they don't discuss it. Earlier, there used to be discussion every nook and corner in the country for any political developments. And now you will find only the मोबाइल न्यूज़ कमिंग. हम लोग कहते हैं कि न्यूज़ तो हमारी मुट्ठी में है, न्यूज़ तो मुट्ठी में है, लेकिन कंट्री और डेमोक्रेसी का क्या हो रहा है? आई थिंक इट्स अ वेरी हाई टाइम टू think about it. Now, however, the ease of sharing and the vital nature of the social media have immensely contributed to the rapid dissemination of the fake news, which the our chief guest also referred to it. According to the National Crime Record Bureau, there was 214% increase in the cases related to the dissemination of the fake news and rumors in at least last 5 years. We used to say about the rumors, in good old days we used to say rumors have been spread about stock market, about the political developments, etc. But now it is only everything goes on the mobile viral. How different is it from the rumor? That we have to decide and we have to consider what to give. Social media platforms, particularly Facebook, Twitter, have become now very dominant players in distributing the news. It becomes very difficult to track the origin of the fake news or hold the individuals accountable for the same. Now, growing clout of the artificial intelligence. Mainly AI is the real big threat, we say. It's an asset also and threat, a challenge also, and a big threat. AI is working hard to undermine the foundational principle of journalism, that is accuracy, fairness, and accountability. AI poses several significant threats to genuine media, particularly in how information is created, consumed, and verified. It presents the challenges that could undermine the traditional journalism's credibility, quality, and the business model. Deep fakes and synthetic media are being deployed to spread the false information, manipulate the public opinion, or defend the individuals and the organizations. AI-driven targeting and manipulation. AI is already being used for highly targeted political advertising, as seen in the previous elections. India has consistently ranked poorly in the International Press Freedom Indices. Reporters Without Boundaries, Without Borders, a 2023 report, World Press Freedom Index, India was ranked 161st out of 180 countries. While the Indian media landscape remains diverse, the increasing threats faced by the journalists, from physical violence to the legal harassment, surveillance, and the corporate political control, pose a grave risk to the free expression and transparency in our country. Now, lack of powers of the Press Council of India. When I was a member, we used to hear every member complaining that we don't have the teeth and the nail. It is a moral watchdog, and it doesn't need a teeth or the nails to punish the people, punish the press. But there are complaints received in the Press Council of India by Press Council of India against the fellow pressmen also, against the journalists also, against the governments and the political leaders as well. So how to tackle them? The Press Council does not have the authority to impose any penalties, fines on the media, organizations or individuals who violate the guidelines. It can only issue the advisories, recommendations, and of course, but it cannot directly impose any corrective actions. Is there any hope for a revival of the print media now? What steps are urgently required? Empower the Press Council of India to enforce its orders and take punitive actions where necessary against the violators and regulate the online journalism. The PCI mandates primarily covers the print media. It lacks the authority to govern online journalism or to discuss or to address issues such as the fake news, hate speech, and sensationalism that proliferate on the digital platforms. Also, the PCI has to rapidly adapt to the challenges of the digital age and maintaining the effective oversight on it. Regulate the social media news platforms. It has become demand for quite long that we should have a media council instead of the only press council to cover the social media as well and the electronic media. But it was found by the committee of the parliamentary committee, that they have enough controls, enough to regulate that internally they have some arrangement. So the press council or media council is not required. I think the time has come to reconsider the decision. It is up to the parliamentary committee and the government. Now, dispel the myth that the print media is not environmentally sustainable. We always say print media, they are using a lot of paper, newsprint, lot of trees world over are cut and to provide the newsprint. But the production and disposal of the print newspapers are seen as less eco-friendly compared to digital news consumption. This is an LIB. There is a sinister campaign that print media consumes paper which comes from the cutting of the trees, posing a serious threat to the environmental sustainability. Using the recycled paper for the printing is a long-standing sustainable method which is being adopted even by big papers now. Now, the study, what is the future in view of the artificial intelligence? See, we have to go back to the Vedas and the Upanishads. Kim Satyam, where is the truth? Because now, after the AI, the situation in the media, there is a new media emerging, new leadership emerging, and one has to think about how to meet the challenges. First of all, the journalists in the print media, they have to be trained properly and upskilling their technology. This is a must. Then there is a lot of competition between, it will increase, and particularly the Indian language newspapers, they will have to take more care for upskilling their staff members to meet the future challenge. If they are comfortable in the AI, then they will be able to withstand the challenges and the competition in the print media as well. Big papers, of course, they have the facility, but the small and the medium newspapers, which are born in the rural areas, they need to be trained to be helped in this matter. While AI can quickly process vast amounts of their data, it cannot replicate the ethical judgment, context, or investigative rigor that human journalists bring to the readers. This is the difference between the AI work. Now most of the people today, younger journalists, they go for the Google Guru. They don't read enough. They don't think enough. The major thing is Google Guru is always there. He will be there. But then you should think, read more and think more. Then only you can produce good news items and can give you comments which will be palatable to the new generation. Let us move forward with a spirit of innovation and responsibility, harnessing the potential of AI while upholding the principles of journalism that have served us well for the generations. Together we can navigate this new era and ensure that the progressive media remains a beacon of truth and accountability in our democracy. One last thing I would like to say is, we should admit that we have lost the pulse of the people. We have seen it in the pre and post poll survey, not only in India, also in America, that we have lost. We have lost the pulse of the people. We don't know what is the common man thinking, where are we going, what will be the result. So I think it's an introspection we have to do ourselves, why we have lost the pulse of the people. I think I've done. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. May I now request Shri Sanjay Jajuji, Secretary, Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, to kindly address the gathering.
Honorable Minister of Information and Broadcasting, Shri Ashwini Vaishnaw ji, Honorable Minister of State for Information and Broadcasting, Dr. L. Murugan ji, respected Chairperson of the Press Council of India, Justice Ranjana Prakash Desai ji, veteran journalist, Padma awardee, Shri Kundan Ramanlal Vyas ji, distinguished members of the Press Council, esteemed guests, and friends from media. I would still call it friends from media rather than calling it friends from press, taking from where you said. Friends, it's indeed my privilege to be here today on this momentous occasion, National Press Day. Actually, the formation of Press Council of India started on today's day, and I think it's a day then we make use of for reflecting on the invaluable role that press in our country plays, the fourth estate as they call it, in upholding democracy, also allowing us to have informed dialogue, and it's a huge conduit for all of us to remain accountable, for us as civil servants and for all those who are in public sphere to remain accountable. As our Honorable Minister was eloquent and spoke about the significance and importance of the press, the transformative role that they play, and I'd also like to take this opportunity to, delve into the strengths of Indian press and the initiatives that we in the government take to ensure that this very vital institution is supported in letter and spirit. Friends, our landscape in the press, the landscape of Indian press is actually huge, and it's also very diverse. I mean, I'm told, and Kanthola will agree, that we have more than 100,000 registered publications in our country. We have close to 900 odd TV channels, out of which roughly 450 odd TV channels are in the news sphere across the country in various languages. And we also have a rapidly expanding digital ecosystem. And I think all this exemplifies the vibrancy of the media landscape of our country. And it is this diversity and this landscape that ensures that every voice be it coming from a very small village to any large metropolis, it finds resonance and representation. And the good thing is that the press in our country does not just report on India, it also actually is truly a reflection of what India thinks. And in doing so, it actually also reinforces the values that we all commonly share. And at the same time, it helps us bridge the cultural, linguistic, and regional differences, if there are any. And I'm personally amazed at the resilience of our journalists when they report, and reporting maybe from a conflict zone, reporting from some remote corner on our country's borders, or maybe even reporting from the corridors of power. I think all this reflect a huge resilience on part of our journalists and editors. And it is this dedication that actually ensures that we in India remain informed, we remain aware and engaged, which is a huge hallmark of the vibrancy of any democracy. Friends, the Indian press has, as I mentioned, been a great ambassador of our national unity. It's been able to provide strength to the communities, and at the same time, it's been a huge source of India's soft power outside. And there are a large number of initiatives where we have all noticed the Indian media or in the Indian press has played a huge role, be it the Swachh Bharat mission, be it the Digital India mission, and all these stories are taking forward the narrative of Viksit Bharat, as was told by our Honorable Minister. As I mentioned, it's not just a tool of social awakening and education, but it's also been a great tool to serve us as bringing together the collective notion of our country as a whole. And I think that's where the role of media and press can never be underestimated. Friends, there are large number of efforts and initiatives that we in the government are taking to provide support to the journalists in terms of the accreditation benefits that are possible, health benefits that are available to them under the Central Government Health Services Scheme, the Journalist Welfare Scheme, insurance coverage, large number of capacity building programs which are run through our Indian Institute of Mass Communication and other organizations, modernizing the media regulations that we have. We also have recently introduced significant reforms to the Press and Registration of Periodicals Act 2013, which has helped us remove the Colonial Era Act, and now we have been able to build a modern, streamlined framework for the press and periodicals. At the same time, we also make significant efforts right in this premises itself to allow access to information by holding regular press briefings, web streaming various press conferences, etc. And we have a lot of interactive platforms which allow the media to remain cognizant and aware of what we in the system are doing and taking that forward to the general public at large. As our Honorable Minister pointed out, there are challenges. There are challenges in terms of the pressure to break the news first, which is now becoming a major challenge. There are pressures and there are challenges in terms of fake news, misinformation, disinformation, as the Minister was pointing out. There are challenges in terms of economics, and now there are challenges in terms of sharing of revenues between the publishers and the intermediaries. And we have examples, there are global examples where such challenges of fair compensation are being tackled. But I think in the world which is now going to become increasingly AI driven, these challenges are going to be becoming manifold, because many of these AI models are going to be trained on a lot of information and material which is published by people like you. And obviously there will be questions of fair compensation, because many of these models are now getting monetized. So I think these are some live questions which will generate a lot of curiosity, and we will need to find answers to many of these questions. But friends, as we go forward, I'm pretty certain that Indian journalism is in a very happy stage. We are one country that had the history of our freedom struggle also being led and run through the Indian journalism and Indian journalists. And I'm sure that in future also, with the advent of AI, but the rich and the cultural history of storytelling that we have in our country, I think our journalists will be able to make use of that potential and will continue to retain the trust and credibility that they all have. I am, on behalf of the ministry, our honorable ministers today, I would like to urge all the stakeholders in this room and outside, all the journalists, the media organizations, and all the policy makers, that it's important that all of us work together to build this ecosystem where we have the press which is fair, the press which is transparent, the press which is sustainable, because that only will ensure that the journalism in our country remains as a beacon of truth, a platform for diverse voices, and then only it will become a catalyst for positive change. Once again, my gratitude to Justice Madam that you have given me this opportunity to have this conversation with all of you. And once again, I wish all of you my greetings. May this country and the press in this country continue to provide and continue to remain a beacon of light. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. May I now request Dr. Dheeraj Kakriya, Secretary, Press Council of India, to propose the vote of thanks.
Good evening, seniors and friends. It is both a privilege and an honor for me to propose the vote of thanks as at this momentous occasion as we come together to celebrate the National Press Day. We are truly grateful to the Honorable Minister Shri Ashwini Vaishnaw Sahab for sharing with us his valuable insights. Particularly, he has outlined the major challenges before this sector. His comprehensive analysis of the changing nature of the press has truly set the tone for today's celebration, and we thank him for his continued commitment to strengthening the media sector. There are many students here. For them, this is a lesson, so they should, I think, learn the challenges and all aspects that Minister has highlighted into details. Our sincere thanks also go to the Honorable Minister of State, Dr. L. Murugan ji, for joining today's commemoration and his support for the growth and evolution of the media. I would like to sincerely thank Sri Kundan Vyas ji for taking time to join us today all the way from Mumbai. Your presence is deeply appreciated, and we are grateful for the invaluable perspectives that you have shared today. I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to the Honorable Chairperson of the Press Council of India, Srimati Justice Ranjana Prakash Desai ji, for her invaluable guidance and support in the overall planning and meticulous execution in today's event. Her leadership and close oversight have ensured the smooth conduct of this celebration. Our sincere thanks to Secretary Sahab, Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, Sri Sanjay Jaju Sahab, for gracing this occasion with his esteemed presence. Though he was very busy, but he could spare some time for us, so that's a matter of pleasure. Your words, sir, are both guidance as well as inspiration for us. A special vote of thanks to the ex-members of the Press Council of India for their solidarity in promoting media ethics and freedom of media. So many seniors are also sitting here. We are grateful for the esteemed presence of Sri Bhupendra Kenthola Sahab, PRJ, Press Registrar General of India, Sri Dhirendra Oja Sahab, Principal Director General PIB, Sri Deepak Narayan Saab, Additional Secretary and Financial Advisor, Sri Yogesh Bhaveja Saab, Director General CBC, Anupma Madam, Anupma Bhattankar Madam, Vice Chancellor of IMC, B. Narayanan Saab, DG New Media Wing, and many seniors who are sitting here. We also thank the heads of 6 journalism institutes of Delhi and Noida, whose students are part of this August gathering. To all our esteemed guests, members of the media fraternity, and participants, thank you for your presence and continued support. Your contributions are integral to the success of the Press Council and to the strengthening of media landscape in our country. And finally, I would like to take this opportunity to acknowledge the hard work and dedication of my colleagues at the Press Council of India. It is their tireless efforts that have made today's event possible. A big thank you to each one of them for their commitment to ensuring the smooth conduct of this important day. Once again, thank you all for your invaluable presence and support. She was to announce, but let me announce, after this event itself, we have IT at the 4th floor. So I invite you all to join. Thank you so much.
Thank you all for your participation. We warmly appreciate your presence here today. Please join us for the high tea arranged at the 4th floor in the cafeteria. Thank you. Until we meet next year.